Divine Tribunal, our carpenter king, treasonous priests, and the tares in the church. Be there before the Divine Tribunal for a holy hour in church during mystical perpetual Eucharistic Adoration. Once again, Jesus is holding something in his sacred hands, but it's not the lance. And once again, treasonous priests are hanging by the neck all around you, spiritual captives of the world, the flesh, and the devil. Guess what they need? Guess how our Lord has outfitted you, and guess how the holy innocents are helping out today. Just guess. Another lesson from the Divine Tribunal series. Overnight, the devil is allowed to show you once again how he would just love to keep you from receiving the Blessed Sacrament during Holy Mass. There are two things the devil is deadly afraid of: fervent communions and frequent visits to the Blessed Sacrament. St. John Bosco. Early morning reparation. After having made reparation while unified with our Lord during his sacred passion, Jesus shares very peaceful time with you and then shows you a priest's Roman collar in two ways. The first way is as a wedding ring. This is reciprocal in two ways. The Roman collar worn by the members of his sacred priesthood represent his unfailing fidelity to his people, and also the fidelity of his people to him. The fidelity of his people to him includes the fidelity of his priests and his people through his sacred priesthood, as the faithful pray and make reparation for priests, while priests bring the love and mercy of God to them through his sacraments and in his place. A Sunday holy hour in church. Do you want many graces? Visit him often. Do you want him to grant you only a few? Visit him, but seldom. Do you want the devil to attack you? Rarely visit the Blessed Sacrament. Do you want the devil to flee from you? Visit Jesus often. Do you want to overcome the devil? Take refuge at Jesus' feet. Do you want to be overcome by the devil? Give up visiting Jesus. Visiting Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament is essential if you want to overcome the devil. Therefore, make frequent visits to Jesus. If you do that, the devil will never prevail against you. St. John Bosco. During mystical perpetual Eucharistic Adoration, you meditate on the sorrowful mysteries of the Holy Rosary while praying the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, incorporating the holy face of our Lord into the prayers, along with your complete offering to God of self, in union with Christ's complete offering to God of himself, and also your works of reparation. Once again today, you find yourself suddenly before the Divine Tribunal. This time, Jesus is standing before you holding a sacred host above a chalice filled with his precious blood. He has shown you this same image of himself several times before, present at the moment when souls enter into eternity. God is so good to us. All of a sudden, you see that all around where you are kneeling before the Divine Tribunal, there in church, treasonous priests are hanging by the neck, suspended in nooses. They are spiritual captives of the flesh, the world, and the devil, and they appear as if they are all dead. But they are not dead, not yet. You also see that you are once again wearing the white wedding dress that represents Christ's bride, his Catholic Church. The harm caused to Christ's bride by these disobedient shepherds appears visible as tears in the wedding gown. This includes damage to the Catholic Church, to the sacred priesthood, and to God's people. These men are being held accountable before the Divine Tribunal for their acts of defiance, and also for the defiance of others who have been influenced by their example. What a sight! Then you see the damage that has been done to Christ's Catholic Church, including to his sacred priesthood and to his people, by the flocks of these treasonous men and those they influenced, which are visible as other tears in the majestic wedding gown. These treasonous priests have inflicted a great deal of damage to the dress you are wearing while kneeling before the Divine Tribunal, there in a carpenter's shop, where Christ is restoring his desecrated Catholic Church, his desecrated sacred priesthood, and his desecrated people. What a sight! Jesus, what can we do to save these men? Operation Profoundly Catholic Search and Rescue. While suffering in union with Christ during his sacred passion, you continue praying the powerful chaplet of Divine Mercy while incorporating the Holy Face devotion, 3 Christocentric devotions in one, the devotion to the Holy Face, the Sacred Heart devotion, and the devotion to Christ's Divine Mercy that surpasses all other devotions, into the prayers while making reparation. Then the holy innocents appear. They collect your works of reparation and offer them to God before his divine tribunal. The works of reparation to the Holy Face of Jesus are presented to obtain the ransom and liberation of Christ's treasonous shepherds. The children also collect your mystical tears of blood, thread their sewing needles with them, and continue working to mend the many tears in the dress that represents Christ's bride, his Catholic Church. This presentation of the Divine Tribunal is a merciful reminder of the importance of making a daily examination of conscience to prepare one's soul well for the moment when he or she will take his or her place before Christ, whose sacred passion will be represented to each one, and in like manner, all each has done in return will be represented to our Lord. The sacrament of reconciliation and daily examinations of conscience are mutually dependent. Father John Anthony Hardin, S.J., taught, the better we are prepared spiritually when approaching the tribunal of penance, the more and greater graces we may expect from the sacrament thus received. In other words, the more humility and charity we have, the greater our detachment from creatures and attachment to the will of God, the more of sacramental blessings we shall be given. The genius of the daily examen consists in its ability to produce these valuable dispositions antecedent to sacramental confession. From American Religious Life in Historical Perspective, Chapter 7, Confession. The events of this day also provide an important reminder to each one of us that right now, precious, priceless, and immortal souls are appearing before our just judge, and we must include them in our prayers each day while offering reparation for all. Trust all things to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament and to Mary, help of Christians, and you will see what miracles are. Saint John Bosco. To learn more about the vital work of reparation to the Holy Face of Jesus, visit www.josephkarlpublishing.com. Jesus said to Sister Mary of St. Peter, by my holy face you will work wonders, and he still means it.
Sin and error. Today